Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. It has been a couple of turns. It's only turn 138. It's happened fast enough that Krepus has not even finished recruiting his Carnosaur, I don't think. Yeah. And I'm just going to spoil it for you. This turn, that's a bad click. This turn, Tilia totally lets us into their territory. I just checked every turn until until I got an agreement, and then I went back and reloaded the autosave. Military access plus a payment of 101,880 gold is sufficient. And so, now that we are able to safely move through all of this territory, all of this yellow territory, we can push up. You can see the orcs have expanded into the mountains a little bit. We're going to solve that problem. They took over a gold mine at Mount Gunbad, which is to say, is this Mount Gunbad? Yes. Which is to say, we're about to own a gold mine at Mount Gunbad, so that's cool. We're going to push through, we're going to fight some vampires, and I had a little bit of a look at the long campaign objectives. So we're very close to the short campaign. There's still the issue of the Southern Badlands, and it will be dealt with in time. But we are currently in control of 5 of the cities on our big list. Castle Drakenhof will be 6, and then an alliance with the dwarves will get us to 8. And then we'll solve the Southern Badlands problem, and then we'll be done. If we decide we want to go on to a long campaign victory after that, and I'm still a little unsettled on this, it turns out it's the same list of provinces that we need to own. That's easy enough. We have to have 5 star chambers. I think we currently actually have 4. It's like completely trivial, though, to have 5 star chambers. We have plenty of room for that. The longer list of factions to be destroyed includes Khemri, and the Greenskins, and the Vampire Counts, and Clan Scryer, which is, of course, the Skaven clan that was crouched in Skaven Blight. We're going to have all of this stuff done, actually. And down here at the bottom, it's just Archaon, continue to expand your territory. The big change is this. We have to get 17 of the 21 cities on the big list of world capitals. That would be a lot of extra campaign. I'm still undecided on whether we actually want to go that far. Let me know in the comments below if you have strong feelings about this, but I think we've sort of capped out. Like, we've seen everything this army has to show us. We're not going to uncover any cool new units or strategies. So at this point, I'm definitely leaning toward wrapping it up at the short campaign victory. Like I said, let me know if you have strong caring either way. So we have a force marching up this way into the mountains to fight orcs. I split our northern force in half, thinking that maybe we'd go after the Galleon's graveyard as well. But I think what we might do with these guys is instead just march them north through Tilian territory up toward the vampires from this direction, or maybe I'll just have them follow behind. Maybe this was a fool's errand here. I don't know. Let's start by doing the thing we absolutely know we are going to do. Take ourselves a little march through this mountain pass. Of course, Tiktaq'to's a little bit faster. He will lead the charge. I see that Tilia and the Border Princes both think they might want to claim Mount Gunbad, so we're going to be racing for this. Mount Gunbad is in a province that is... Okay, it's just Mount Gunbad and Grom Peak. We could take that over. It's not great climate for us, but it's not horrible. It's not as bad as Skaven Blight, certainly. And then Jufbar, Oakenhammer, and Carreg Dromar make another province. I'm assuming this is only significant for the dwarves. Yeah. And then vampires. So that we can see the vampires have expanded to 5 provinces here. Or 5 settlements. Castle Drakenhof, Eschen, and Waldenhof are 1. And Castle Tempenhof and Schwarzhofen, shared with Fort Obersteyr, make up Western Sylvania. And I think my plan right now is to take over all of this. This probably is a thing where we should have all 4 of our forces together, huh? If we want to take the Galleon's graveyard, it's probably better to do that by recruiting a 6th army and having Krepus and that army go over and do that. So yeah, I think I'm just going to turn these guys around. This is the, what we're seeing right here, the wages of indecision. I guess, do I want to just run up across Barak Dovazbag? Like... Nah, it doesn't matter too much. It's not too much slower to just go this way, and we can avoid annoying Britonia here. So it's already the case that we could have control of, or we could have 8 of the settlements on the list checked off just by allying with Tilia so that we have their capital. But I don't want to be reliant on maintaining a military alliance with more than one power at a time, because I have found that to be very difficult in the past. Alright, Uldomorin, yeah, just continue harassing greenskins, right? Oh, I don't... I gave all my money away. Well, never mind on harassing greenskins. Get in here and scout. We'll scout some greenskins. So Oakenhammer doesn't have much of a garrison. Yeah, it'll be good for us to know what's up in Vampire Town as well. So 18-unit garrison, 20-unit garrison. Seems like they've built up their garrison buildings in a couple settlements. And I think it'll be interesting to fight the vampires as well. Their forces are a little bit different. They actually can fight back against our flying units with their own flying units rather than with ranged. As Heg the Slaughterer has here. I mean, this would be a pretty impressive force if we were bound by ground combat. Alright, where was I? Oh yes, I was starting to work up the Tablet of the Saurus, because I thought it would be cool to get us to the buffs for Temple Guards. We still don't have any Temple Guard, because I did not spend any time recruiting them. We're still building up in Death Pass. Yeah, we were just about to get the Temple Guard recruitment structure in place. So actually, we'll probably grab some Temple Guards with these 2 units, because they'll still be in the territory when that finishes. I would like to get Temple Guard to replace a lot of our sources, though. And where are we at on rights? We are 4 turns away from our double move right, which we will probably perform immediately when it becomes available. And our next goal, the next thing we really want to do with our cash, is actually get that military alliance with the dwarves secured. So we are now at 314 trusted friends. Still, low likelihood of success on the military alliance, but there is an amount of gold that will change that. It turns out basically everybody in the Warhammer world is in love with those golden lizard trinkets. So we're just gonna get that figured out. Okay, somewhere the elves are still having kind of a problem, although they're looking pretty powerful. Although the dark elves look roughly as powerful. Well, good luck to you, lore masters. And there are 3 dark elf factions in that area. Yeah, Ulthuan might fall to the dark elves. That might occur. And I mean, it might be interesting to go fight dark elves, since they do have they will have a better time against our composition than a lot of the enemies we've fought so far. Maybe that's a good enough reason to extend and go for the longer campaign victory. It's just that we'll get to fight some other forces that maybe we won't be able to roll quite as easily. I do want to bring some Carnosaurs to bear against Castle Drakenhof. We'll see whether that actually looks like a feasible thing. The biggest problem with high-tier units is that in any case where you don't absolutely have to use them, it's very difficult, given the amount of real time that turns take, it's very difficult to justify sitting still and recruiting them. It might be easier to justify using high-tier units without really changing the amount of power they provide your army if there were just more sources of recruit time reduction available at the top of the tech tree or something. You know, because the fact that I have to sit still for 3 turns to recruit a Carnosaur, even in a settlement that has Carnosaur recruitment, that translates to, like, 15 minutes of sitting around doing nothing. It's probably not actually that bad, but it's not that far off. What on earth is King Feham getting up to? He better not be thinking about double-crossing us. I don't think that usually happens with Tomb Kings. With almost every other kind of ally, if you continue to grow, that great power negative diplomatic modifier will eventually make them consider turning on you, which is what happened with the dwarves at Vulture Mountain. But Tomb Kings should not be vulnerable to the same desire for treachery. Also, check out these beastmen that are just kind of hanging out in the middle of that Tilian region. We'll have a look at it when we go back over there. We might want to detour and kill them. They're not at war with us right now, but they totally might declare on us. And if they do, they have access to underway movement and stuff, they could actually come down to Carrick Drawn or Iron Rock and cause us problems, and I don't want to have to maintain a force there. So it might be worth detouring to kill those guys, and probably the Tillians would appreciate it. Yeah, we'll definitely draft a 6th army down here once we have put together the money to convince the dwarves that a military alliance is in their best interest. Slan Mage Priests have devised a new ritual to increase the effectiveness of the blades wielded by your sources. I like my winds of magic, thank you. Alright, the Skink Chief is... Let's see, he maxed out Assassinate. He has all the yellow line stuff we actually... I mean, I guess we may as well cap out charge bonus, who knows. Maybe we end up putting him on a Stegodon and actually running him into people. We could have him sky charge people. Right now his charge bonus is 26, so we can get it as high as 41, which is fine. The thing is, like, the odds of us ever pulling him out of the army to do anything else, it would have to be a desperate situation, for sure. Also, for some reason, I just this moment received an achievement. That's weird. What is that an achievement for? Playing as the Lizardmen, recruit a feral Carnosaur. Okay, apparently the Blessed Spawning one does not count. The other thing we could do is take boost income, because he's going to be around the gold mines some of the time. No, these are both very marginal. Okay, Specialist. Specialist helps with the assassinations. If we ever really did need him to pop an agent, that's the way to do it. So are these guys at war with... They're only at war with Carrick Ziflin, which is a group of dwarves we've never even encountered. But they're going to run around and raid and stuff. I guess this could be something that the armies bringing up the back take care of, though. So if we run up to here, we're going to be in Mountain Pass attrition territory. Well, so be it. We have to get past these guys. That's alright. Even wounded, I don't think that we'll have a problem taking out the 8 units stationed in Mount Gunbad. And then once this is our territory, of course we have our extremely good replenishment rate. I almost do want to loop Krukgar around through dwarf territory. We'll just trespass on Bretonnian stuff a little tiny bit, just to make sure that these guys don't get away, because I really do want to get rid of them. Yeah, Ratok, you're definitely going this way. Out of curiosity, would the Bretonnians be okay with me? No, they would not be okay with me just walking through. It wouldn't harm our diplomatic standing with them too much. I kind of want to execute this pincer maneuver here. Yeah, so we run through a little bit of their territory. You can see those little red hands holding scrolls. That's where they will be mad at us. It's fine. Oh, I forgot. I was going to consider recruiting Temple Guard. Well, maybe we have Ratok dump all of his Saurus Warriors next turn and recruit Temple Guard, and then he can ferry them up to the front and distribute them a little bit. And then, do we want to try to bank population to level up Death Pass, or is it okay to just go for... I guess leveling up Iron Rock and Carrick Drawn first allows us to build proper walls in those places, and that's a thing that is worth doing. Carrick Drawn is more likely to be attacked by Beastmen, I guess? Although also I should be saving money. Okay, well let's not spend a ton, but let's at least get these garrisons up. And the forces of the Court of Liberis are also coming up to help us. You know, they're trying. They're trying their best to be good allies. I really do appreciate that. This guy tried to wound me. We tried to wound him right back. Yeah, sure. I have critically failed. Well, that's embarrassing. Uldamoran's just kind of horrible at his job. Alright, we're going to save money for the most part. So we are not upgrading any of these settlements. Krepos has finished his recruitment. Do we want him to move? Does he need to still be here? Ooh, I know I said save money, but this is an extra 300 gold per turn. It'll pay itself off fairly quickly, and we are talking about eventually launching another army and stuff. Like, we are going to need more cash. Yeah, we do still need to continue development. And here in Skaven Blight, okay, we need to build one of these, and also we need to upgrade our Grand Plaza. Those can be next turn problems. Alright, let's see if the men of the Southern Realms actually try to push past us. I think because of the fact that they didn't move north at all last turn, we're going to beat them to Mount Gunbad. Which is great. Another gold mine. Sounds lovely. Probably we will not bother to build any recruitment stuff in Gunbad. We might in Jufbar. It's possible that we'll want to hang out in Jufbar a little while and sort of muster before pushing into vampire territory. Obviously, it would be better to wait and just build the recruitment stuff in Castle Drakenhof, but we have to actually get Castle Drakenhof before we could do that. And I mean, like, Temple Guard are better than Saurus Warriors, but they're not better, they're not, like, more fun to use. They are just the same ground pound, heavy infantry kind of troops, so I'm not too concerned about making sure we get to show them off or anything. They're good anti-large. They'll be good at fighting the vampire monsters, the giant bat Vargulfs and stuff. But they are used pretty much identically to the way Sauruses are used. They're just better. It feels like there's a lot less opportunity to do crazy wild stuff with the Lizardmen than there is with the other factions. You know, with the Skaven, even with the pre-DLC Skaven, you had a lot of crazy stuff like Doom Wheels and there's a lot of fun spells that the Skaven have access to. And now they have all those weapon teams and stuff. I'm very eager to get back to Skaven and try that. I have not played them at all since release. And then, like, with elves, you're building up to different kinds of dragons, and I don't know, it feels like there's a lot more to look forward to with a lot of factions than there is with Lizardmen. The salamanders are really cool, but you get access to salamanders very early. And I guess it's not that stegodons and carnosaurs aren't neat, it's just that we've had access to them for a very long time. I guess maybe the problem isn't really the unit roster as much as it is the fact that the Blessed Spawnings give you access to stuff sooner than you should have it. And that's the idea of it being a tantalizing glimpse at cool stuff you'll be able to recruit in the future, I guess is what they were going for. But in practice, you don't really need that many Carnosaurs. You don't really need that many Stegodons. If you get one Carnosaur early, he can do all of the Carnosaur jobs for a very long time. He does totally rule, though, and I'm so glad we got him as early as we did. So yeah, it seems like the Puppets of Chaos are still ignoring us. One thing that I'm a little worried about with the Galleon's Graveyard, if we were to go out into the sea and take that as one of our important world cities, is that it's close enough to where those blue Chaos guys spawn that I'm worried we would actually have to deal with them if we took it. Okay, let's not run too far ahead. I want to stay in range of Yarrick. Next turn, we should definitely short move and just do a, we should short move into a replenishment stance. And if that means that the Border Princes get to Mount Gunbad before us, they actually might just lose the fight there. Grimgor Ironhide and his Black Orcs, plus the 8-unit garrison of Grim Peaks. It's not, like, awesome, but it might be enough to destroy this weakened Southlander army, because, like, these guys are not. This is just, like, basic-ass crossbows. It's a lot. The crossbows have a lot of trouble with Black Orcs. Okay, I think we are killing these beastmen. I don't want to have to put up with them raiding my territory, and they are going to, at some point, use the forest paths to get through the mountain. But we should have no problem at all taking them down with Krukgar. to the point that we probably will just auto-resolve this. Yeah, we don't need to see another one of these. Redhorn tribe is destroyed. We lizardmen are heroes of civilization. So we were focusing on personal combat stuff, and I want Krukgar to like eat vampire lords with his dinosaur, and that's gonna be really cool. I wonder if we should grab like, is there obliterate the undead? I wonder if we should grab obliterate the undead. I guess plus leadership. The only benefit it provides to any army except for his own is leadership, which we are not thin on. So we'll keep focusing on personal combat prowess. And Lord Croak got us first spawning. We don't really need Eternal Guardians. 5% ward save for the whole army is pretty cool. We could grab Magic Resist and Terror and Regeneration and 25% Physical Resist. That's impressive. We could grab some more Winds of Power. If he had Regeneration, he's actually a surprisingly good melee combatant. Something to be said for that. Unlocks the hero action Colossal Deliverance. Damages the walls, buildings, and the settlement level of the target settlement. Why would you do that? Why would you want to lower the settlement level of another settlement? It's hard to imagine you would be doing that on anything that you wouldn't be trying to just take over, right? In which case you don't want it lowered. I'm thinking like a little bit of extra training is valuable, but it's really more valuable earlier. At this point, I don't know if there's enough time left in the game for this amount of experience to make a difference. Let's grab some of this stuff. Let's make him a better fighter. Well, let's do the wizard line first, then the fighter line. Because he is remarkably competent. Alright, and then Krukgar is headed up. You guys... If I move you to right here, and I put you into... Okay, I can't put you into encampment mode. That's fine. If we were to local recruit, we would recruit the temple guards at level 4. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's bring forward a bunch of temple guards. So I think what I'm going to do is fire all the Sauruses and probably also the skirmishers. Maybe probably the cohort of Sotek as well. I'm just thinking, and maybe all of these guys. I want to hire way more temple guards than we actually want in one army, because he's going to kind of distribute some of them to the other armies. Maybe all of the Pteranodon guys, like basically everybody who's easy to rehire. Normal salamanders come in a single turn. These salamanders are a little bit leveled up, but I think we'll get rid of them as well. Yeah. He's going to go heavy disband, and he's going to hang out here and recruit temple guards for a long time. We know we'll be doing at least this much. Sadly, Hextalk is not actually very fast. He's going to be really late to everything. And then we have some things we wanted to do in Skavenblight, we know. This needs to get upgraded. And we need one of these, and this will help solve the corruption problem. So right now we have 3 points of normal and 3 points of Skaven corruption that will never go away. And then 1 point of chaos corruption, which will also never go away. It says it's from an event, but it's from an event that will never end, so. If we can get down some of this minus 12 corruption, or minus 12 public order from corruption, we can get things solid here. And if we built a pylon, because we presumably could become allied with Miragliano, we could even get this up to level 3 and get a more effective version of the growth and public order commandment. Alright, let's see what happens right here. I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance that the Border Prince's army loses the battle at Mount Gunbad, unless Grimgor Ironhide leaves to the west, maybe to reinforce something over here, in which case the Border Princes might get Mount Gunbad from us. but we're still powerful enough that Grimgor Ironhide couldn't run out here and attack us, especially because we left our armies in reinforcement range of one another. He would get routed pretty badly relying on Black Orcs against this many Pterodon riders. So very few factions get access to low-tier flying units that are any good at all. Most factions that have good flying units, they're like tier 3, 4, 5 type units. And most early flying units are like Fellbats. They're just absolutely horrible. They're completely insufficient for doing anything other than like charging a artillery crew. I have seen Fellbats lose in melee combat to archers on a number of occasions. They're really, really bad units. So the Pterodons are pretty unusual. There are not a lot of factions that get good ranged flying at all, and then certainly not as low tier as these guys are. The normal ones are tier 2, and the Fireleech Bola guys are tier 3. And the recruitment building isn't even really expensive. So that does lend the Lizardman army at least a pretty interesting and unique flavor. And granted, Pterodon riders would be a lot less effective for people who are not us, because remember, we only get a second rock drop because of our faction. For everybody else, the Pterodons only have one rock drop, and they would certainly be less good with just the one. Even so, though, it's definitely interesting. And the Salamanders are super cool. It's just that you see a lot of the stuff that's neat about a Lizardman army in the first 50 turns, and then there's a whole bunch more game left. Okay, Valmir Gosser is just going to raid for a while. That works for us. So we'll do a half move forward. Now that we're in the open a little bit more, the pass is not quite so constricted and not so heavily wooded. Do a half move forward into encampment stance. And we'll do that half move creep, sort of the Overwatch creep of Total War Warhammer, until we get to Mount Gunbad and make the territory friendly. And then once we have friendly territory up here, it's going to be very, very easy to get in position to take the rest of the orcs out. I feel bad for them, man. Not only are they really, like, army compositionally unable to handle the Pterodon thing, but also, you know, they're orcs. They're too dumb to really understand what's happening. It must be very frustrating. Okay, weapon strength up for sources, then melee attack up for sources. I mean, even if we don't end up using a lot of actual Temple Guard, all these Saurus buffs are good. These are good things to have. Okay, so we gotta stop. Well, hold on. We gotta let this guy dictate our range of movement. Ugh. You really can't move forward at all. This is terrible. Okay, he can move to here and encamp. And then we just move forward to the very edge of his reinforcement range, and we also encamp. And obviously, the instant we're in movement range of Mount Gunbad, we assault. But that's going to be a turn or two, I think. And Krokgar ends up in unfriendly territory here. So if we were properly allied with Tilia, and I'm assuming they're not interested, yeah. If we had at least a defensive alliance with Tilia, we'd be able to heal in their territory. But no such luck. It's alright. Things are going to be rough until. So these guys can be placed into encampment mode as well, and that gives them access to the global recruitment pool. And we're going to pull in even more Temple Guard through global recruitment. These mountain passes are murder for people who don't have underway movement stances. And I think we're not doing any other upgrades. And we'll check in with the dwarves in a second here. Okay, next turn we have the Red Itsunki available. That is actually going to get us Mount Gunbad for sure then. How are we doing? We're fairly healthy. We should be healthy enough for this. Yeah, and if that cuts a turn off of the creep forward toward Mount Gunbad, that is absolutely a reasonable use of that right. At the beginning of the turn here, we'll have a quick chat with the dwarves. I suspect we're not anywhere near the amount of money necessary to secure the military alliance still. But continuing to fight the Greenskins is going to be good for us. Or is going to be good for our diplomatic relationships with just about everybody. And then the vampires, I believe, are at war with the dwarves and the Empire. They're not at war with the Southern Realms. But so we should continue to curry dwarf favor by taking Castle Drakenhof. We're going to end up like north of 400, maybe 450 points of reputation with them, and hopefully at some point they'll deign to consider us for an alliance. Due to the fact that we are at least defensively allied with them, we can indicate mutual war targets. Like anybody that we're both at war with, we can be like, hey, go and attack these guys. But I'm probably not going to do any of that because I don't actually want the dwarves to end up in control of any of the territory over here. Like if we have them bring an army over, there's a chance that they win a settlement battle, and I want all these settlements. We're definitely going to have to fight the Battle of Mount Gunbad manually, no matter how easy it looks, because the game dramatically overestimates the value of walls. Where are these guys going? We should have a quick look at their diplomacy stuff and figure out who they're at war with. Because this army's headed somewhere. I wonder if he's going to fight the Blue Chaos guys. A noble Tomb King marching off to war with the enemies of the living. Alright, Valmir Gosser. There's no way he can make it to Gunbad here, and I'm pretty sure we make it on our double move, so. We are going to be a little torn up, because remember, you do still suffer attrition, not just for ending your turn in attrition territory, but also for just moving through it. So we're going to lose a bunch of guys on the double move. But I do think we have to execute, like, right away, because otherwise we risk Valmir Gosser getting there before we do. And I don't think he'll be victorious, but we have no way of knowing whether Grimgor Ironhide... Because it goes our turn, then the Greenskin turn, then the Border Prince turn, I believe. So Grimgor Ironhide could just leave the settlement, and then the Border Princes could take it over. The Puppets of Chaos are looking strong. I'm actually really glad that we don't have to fight them. Recruit Warbeasts for a Warbeast focus. Whatever. I don't care about that. Oh, we don't actually even have to double move. You'll have to march. But yeah, okay, so I think we might save the right of Tsunki then. So they have 3 total units of archers, and they do have a wizard. Alright, Yarrick just needs to get into reinforcement range, which is in fact going to require a march. If I were to double move... No, Krukgar's not going to get anywhere near. Let's just get him into the province, or into the region. Oh! Did we find a tiny spot where we're not... No, we should still be suffering attrition. I'm not sure why all the attrition damage disappeared. Weird. Okay. Let's do this then. Should be easy enough. But unfortunately, if we were to auto-resolve a battle like this, with them having walls and us having a bunch of units that are actually damaged, I would expect almost our entire army to die. The auto-resolver is a cruel mistress. So they have 3 units of flyers. Okay, this is that same map with the weird little pocket. Honestly, like, as boring as it will be, and I apologize if it is, we might just pursue the same strategy because it totally works, and I don't want to screw around with our Carnosaur being half dead and everything. I do not want there to be any chance that we might lose this Carnosaur. Okay, our backup army is coming in all the way over here. They could probably just assault this gate. So yeah, we do want to set up all the way over here then. Alright. Tight formation right up against the wall. Unfortunately, tight formation right up against the wall can be a little bit tedious of an order to give. You guys nice and tight. You guys nice and tight. And there we go. That's what I want. Narrow and deep is the formation that we need. Alright, so everybody who is not a flying unit is actually not even that large of a percentage of this army. Let's do that. We'll figure it out afterward. Everybody who is a flying unit, get the hell inside the gates. Figure that out afterward as well. So the orc arrow units are extremely inaccurate, but they at least kind of do damage. The goblin arrow units are inaccurate and also extremely low damage. It's a rough life being a goblin archer. You get no respect, and there are like extremely good reasons for that. Okay, so all these units coming in, just kind of, oh, they've kept just enough orcs over here to man the towers. Okay, I don't know. Get over here, I guess. We'll figure it out. Figure it out later after you actually commit. I gotta remember to hit this. And let's kill ourselves an Orc Lord, yeah? Grimgore Ironhide is... Actually, you know what? We will kill Grimgore Ironhide, but we should have Roxburgh and Snout work together to kill the Night Goblin Shaman first. That's high priority. So, let's do that thing we do, where we kill the guys. Apparently victory is already in our grasp. That spell just didn't even go off. Well, that's annoying. Alright, shoot a fireball at these dudes. And then, speaking of fireballs, we have some explosives to drop. Just trying to get a nice wide formation over here. Actually, sorry. Probably over here, right? Nope, that fireball did nothing at all. Okay, so like half of you fight these guys. What's actually up on the wall? There are some melee troops. Are these just orc boys? They are. I'm wondering if we could bring in the Pterodon riders. They left some cavalry back there. Cavalry, black orcs. Not really anything for the Pterodon riders to safely go and attack, which is a shame. We'll have Snout put up some crows right about here. Seems like a pretty good spot. The crows ought to be devastating against these units of orcs. He's gonna stand still for a second. Aw. I think I still hit him. Wait, okay, he's like, for some reason, much higher in the air than everybody else. Well, it gives him a good firing angle. You gotta give him that. Okay, they're casting spells on us over here. Oh boy. That's cool. What is that? I've never seen that before. Well, it wandered off the map almost immediately, so sorry about your wasted wins. Oh my god, they keep grouping up. Still want to make sure we're getting the guys on the wall with the crows as much as possible, though. Okay, Roxburgh is doing his job. He is on top of it. But let's try to make sure this guy either dies or at least permanently breaks, right? And try to make it so he doesn't have the ability to run around a corner and dodge the spear. This might actually kill him, based on the amount of damage the last one did. Yep, he's absolutely just completely dead. Okay, you guys work on them. Also, this sniping lords from the air thing is very fun. I'm very pleased about this. Let's shoot at some goblins. I don't think a fireball is going to be very effective against black orcs. Right here, we're just making everybody miserable. What's happening on this front? What's happening on this front is that my units have come in a very strange way that could not possibly be effective. You know, this is just kind of how they do. Honestly, if we just get everybody out of the range of the tower here, we probably don't have to do much other than marshal the forces of our remaining flying units here. I can let a lot of the rest of these units just hang out. So once we're actually behind the wall, so that I know I'm not trying to fly them through tower range, we're just gonna get over to where the thing is currently happening and drop a lot of rocks into these black orcs, and that should solve the problem right there. Okay, good enough, I think. Okay, of the flying units over here, who still has rocks? Well, of course. Of course, our lord does. Yeah, Grimgor Ironhide, we might not be able to actually snipe him. He's very, very tough. Okay, the people with the fire bombs, these will be a little bit more effective. It does feel a trifle unfair, I'll say that. I've probably said that in the past. It's just, what are they supposed to do here, man? Okay, where are those other flyers? Yeah, they're doing some fine work over here, it looks like. Apparently the orcs still think there's a good chance we're going to try to come through the gate. This is what I was saying earlier about being so stupid that tactics must be frustrating. I think it should be fairly obvious to everyone at this point that we do not intend to use this gate for anything. We do still have to just break down more orcs. It does take a lot of bombs to kill a black orc. You gotta give them that. They are tough dudes. Alright, how is our caster doing? He's recovered a little bit. I'm debating what the next smart thing to do is. The crows aren't really that effective against the black orcs, it feels like. You know what? Yeah, at this point, I think we could probably have the Pterodon Riders go in and finish off the archers. And Tiktaq'to can help. No, I was gonna buff my dude's defenses, but the orc boys just ran away. I was really expecting them to come in and try to fight, just so eager to be able to punch anything, right? I mean, if they're going to just stand there right under you, you may as well drop your rock. We have a couple of free abilities left here. Yeah, we're just never going to kill Grimgor Ironhide with this ranged fire nonsense. He is too tough. I guess we'll do one more crow. There are at least a lot of them to get here. And at this point, we can probably have our man come over here and kick the gate down. Gonna have to kill Grimgor Ironhide the old-fashioned way. And they actually don't have control of this group of towers over here anymore either. Let's get our salamanders in some kind of good guard position. But I mean, the battle's over. Shame there's no way for the AI to realize that they should concede earlier. Okay, who still has rocks? Because we have like a pretty good spot for dropping rocks over here. We're gonna have to pull some units in from the other side, though. I'll give them this. Despite the fact that they have been completely destroyed, they are constantly under ranged fire from multiple directions, and they have no way of fighting back or ceasing their torment. They are standing strong. As we've already seen, that's a thing you cannot say about the armies of a lot of races. We're starting to get through to Grimgor. He's taking a little bit of damage. Trying to make sure that we have a good, clean position here. Oh, we finally got a good angle for the salamanders. Although a lot of them are hitting this. What is this hanging from? I guess we're underground. There is a roof these things are dangling from. And that chain is actually providing the orcs with some cover, weirdly. Okay, so do we like... So we could go for the curse? Big curse, and then it's just like... dudes through. I know Grimgor Ironhide's a badass, but I'd like to see him fight this Carnosaur. I'd really like to see him fight this Carnosaur. Let's make sure that we are expending our buffs. Carnosaur's rampaging. I mean, it's already injured enough that I kind of can't... how much damage has he done to it? I can't tell. But we now have proper terror going on here, so we should, I think, see a reduction in the leadership of these guys pretty sharply. This is wild form the dinosaur as well, why not? Grimgor seems to be having a hard time staying on his feet to fight it. Feels like the salamander fire coming through the gate is maybe a little bit superfluous. I know that this is a problem that Grimgor Ironhide has had, and like every major patch, they increase his mass so that he is harder to knock down. But the fact is, like, he's supposed to be, in the fiction, one of the greatest fighters in the history of the world. It's like he's the biggest, baddest orc that ever was, right? But due to the way that the battle system works in Total War Warhammer, you can't be a foot lord and be all that effective against other lords and stuff, because other lords are going to end up with their, like, if he goes up against a lord who has like a dragon type mount or a flying mount or even just like something bigger than a horse, it's just going to charge him and knock him down over and over again. He never actually gets to swing his weapon, so it doesn't matter what his combat stats are. Then probably the solution of just increasing his mass so that he is less, because there is actually some physics calculation going on. Increasing his mass over and over again to try to make it so that it's harder to knock him down. They're going to have to go to, I think, the point of him being literally impossible to knock over. They're going to have to just remove the knockdown behavior entirely. Because otherwise, he's going to spend the entire fight against pretty much anyone on his back. Okay. Occupy Mount Gunbad, and now... Oh, hey, that's not a bad buff there. Wow, Mount Gunbad is in terrible shape. They are not managing this well at all. Let's also upgrade Wind Blast, because we're not that... Well, you know what, actually. We're about to be fighting vampires. Maybe we do want to upgrade our anti-flyer spell. Yeah, and now that we control Mount Gunbad, we have a nice staging ground. This is actually quite a large region. It goes all the way up to here. So we're going to be able to get our full replenishment rate. This is great. Krukgar's still in he's still in attrition area, so he's not getting the heal, but he will next turn. Or this turn if we want to go ahead and still throw out our right. I think maybe I do. Hold on, let's make sure everybody else has moved first, as much as they're going to. I guess they have. Yeah, Krepus isn't going anywhere. He doesn't need to go back to Skaven Blight. Skaven Blight is... Well, it'll be under control eventually. It'll be under control soon enough. It takes so long to build anything here. Do I want to upgrade this a little bit more? I kind of think I want to upgrade the walls here all the way eventually, just because it is a pain in the ass to defend it. But I guess it doesn't have to be right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and launch the Rite of Tsunki. I don't think we're going to need it to catch anybody. We're fighting in pretty enclosed areas these days. Let's just use it to speed up our push. Tiktaq'to got all of his movement back, which is really cool. We have to be careful where we move to, though. I want to make sure that he actually does get a turn of proper replenishment before we hit attrition lands again. So Yarek should move as far forward as he can while staying in. His army also really badly needs it. Okay, looks like we can move to about here. No, I did not say. I'm really not trying to have these armies interact. I'm trying to move him to right here. Alright, whatever. He's not going to go in front. And Tiktaq'to's wing beats keep moving the wings in front of the cursor. Alright, you're not quite out of attrition territory yet, but you will be soon. And then, yes, my other hero injured himself, right. Okay, let's remove this, replace it with a growth building. You know how we gotta do this. We gotta get this whole thing back together. So we swing around like that to Grom Peak, and then Grom Peak gives us territory like almost all the way up to Jufbar, and we just take everything over. Alright, let's go one more turn here before we check in with the dwarves. I think I can hit Alt-Enter or something and have it just end the turn without me having to dismiss all the notifications, but I don't remember what the key combination is, and I'm lazy. Too lazy to look it up. Alt-Enter might be a civilization thing now that I think about it. I'm actually really grateful that the orcs managed to sweep so far north. Probably this is not... I'm misrepresenting the situation a little bit. It's not that the orcs swept so far north. It's that they confederated an orc tribe that was already in control of this. Because I don't know how a greenskin army would have gotten past Karazar-Karak like this. But I'm really glad that they own all this territory up here, because once we run out of orcs to fight, we're going to find it more difficult to quickly curry a lot of favor with all of the factions that we need to be friendly with. The orcs are a very politically convenient enemy. Also, apparently Britannia is just, exceedingly mighty. Yeah, I guess they hold like a huge amount of territory. Their nation's not as big as ours, but it's pretty big. And they're still getting the free money that comes with being a high-level AI. The big campaign patch removed the public order bonus, but it did not remove all the free cash. Yeah, he must just be like, he's gonna sail down to here and then take the shortest route over from... He wants to spend as little time in the deep sea as possible while getting over to those blue chaos guys, I guess. It's weird. Okay, the border princes have been convinced that there is no need for their services up here, but the court of Liberis is showing up, man. They wanna help. They want to assist their greatest scaly allies, greatest and scaliest allies, in whatever endeavors we think are worth our time. You know what we should do? We should watch for that dwarf fleet to sail back past Sartosa and have Crepus finish them off. They still have not suffered for the insult they inflicted upon us. Oh, a Puppets of Chaos army. One of them is actually going to come over here and try it. Alright, well then Crepus has a more important job, it seems like. Let's start with that so I don't forget. What's going to be the best way to deal with this? Do I want to stay in the water the whole way? Yeah, that's probably fine. Somehow the Dune Kingdoms, they just knew. Let me actually look at you. Okay. Yeah, you're pretty much only at war with these Chaos factions. So that is in fact what he's doing. He's just going over there because he sensed that the Puppets of Chaos were actually going to try it this time. Turns out Tomb Kings make really good allies. Alright, Nashrak's Lair. What on earth happened here that this army, this was what was left after that battle? Well, I don't particularly want to take Nashrak's Lair. It would be hard for us to hold. But I also don't know that I want to let them replenish there. So I think maybe the play here is... Yarick... Like, one of these armies should go and deal with this. I'll have Tiktaq'to do it. And we'll have Yarick move down to Grom Peak. Because there's functionally no garrison there. Alright, and Krukgar's going to get proper replenishment this turn, so his army is going to be almost back in perfect health. Yeah, just the dinosaurs need a little bit more love. You need a growth building really badly, otherwise how are we going to get that gold mine up and running? You can... Oh no, it's Greebits, he's back! We are pretty good at taking him out, though. Oh, that's lovely. 6% more success chance on all assassinations is a great, great trait. I was starting to take yellow stuff with you. Soon he's going to be immortalized on the back of his occasionally successful assassination actions. Alright, let's see how the dwarves are feeling now. Been a couple of turns. Our public order, our reputation with them should be trending real high. 337. And we have enough gold to make some actual, like, a serious offer here. Still says low. I'm pretty sure... Well, I'm not going to join your war just yet. But the fact that they want us to join that war, like, I wonder if I offer to join in this war against the vampire counts. No, that doesn't move the meter at all. And also I offer you all this money. And clearly they don't think it's, like, hugely important. Alright, but we have a term that they actually want. So we'll just keep building up to that. I think it should not be a problem for Krepus to handle a Chaos Army by himself. He actually has a reasonably good force. I mean, he needs more, He needs Temple Guard in place of his Sauruses. Oh, I gotta remember to actually recruit the other 2 blessed spawning Sauruses for him. But he has a Carnosaur, and he has flyers and stuff. We should be able to handle that. In particular, one of the most terrifying parts of the Chaos Army is their artillery. They have really, really powerful artillery, but they have almost no ranged units. So we should be able to disable their artillery with our flyers pretty easily. Okay, here's hoping that Khazid Urkulaz can defend itself against 1 orc with a funny mask on and a handful of black orcs at his back. Because I really don't want to have to sweep all the way up there. I think my plan with this settlement is just to burn it and let the dwarves reclaim it. What's up? Really? The Wood Elves want a military alliance? I mean, absolutely not, but that's a big surprise. I wonder why they're even asking for that. They're at war with Chaos, who they're under no threat from at all, and also Clan Angrund, who I'm not allied with, but I think my relations with Clan Angrund are quite good. I guess they're just desperate. They're probably having a war go very, very poorly. I have to say, I do not expect this Tomb King army to be successful. I didn't actually look at its makeup, but what we've seen from the AI so far is that they really, really love to run armies that are just like hundreds and hundreds of basic spearmen, and those guys are going to get smashed to like a fine powder against Chaos Warriors. If there's one thing the Chaos Force is good at, it's dealing with an infantry-based army. I'm expecting we're going to see these guys run over and just immediately crush them and then try to make landfall, probably. So I guess, actually, it is probably the case that if these areas aren't inhabited, the Puppets of Chaos are going to tend toward us. Oh, interesting. He doesn't have any desire to fight the Tomb Kings, I guess. He is full afraid. The Varg have been destroyed. What a surprise. The faction that declares war on everybody all the time for no reason somehow was killed. Maybe we do want to get on land. I'm gonna jump up on land real quick here. And we're going to remember to grab our blessed spawnings. Okay, so what are we actually looking at here? They do have a Hell Cannon, at least one Hell Cannon. They have some Chaos Warriors, some Chaos Knights, which as you might imagine are just Chaos Warriors, but on horseback. Chaos Warriors with halberds, so we're definitely going to have to keep the Carnosaur away from these guys. These guys are dangerous in the extreme. How much bonus versus large do they have? 19? You know, even with that, they only have 49 melee attack. That's not quite as dangerous as I thought they were. Okay, Uldamorin. He's back. He has respawned. He wants to make up for all of the embarrassing things that he has done in our sight. And here comes Ungrim Iron Fist, the Slayer King. I think I'm still going to burn Nashrak Slayer real fast. Part of this is that I don't want him to get distracted. Oh, hey, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I don't want him to get distracted. I want him to chase that orc army so that we don't have to. But also, I want to do some damage to an orc settlement and get a little bit more popularity. Okay, Sunout has finished learning scouting. I guess at this point, actually, Cleanse Corruption is starting to become relevant. As you might imagine, when we get over here into Vampire Town, I'm expecting to see a lot of vampire corruption. Oh! Carrick Cadron has fallen to the vampires. Well, that's a problem. Is Carrick Cadron's not one of the great cities, is it? No, it's not. That's a shame, because we are looking like we are in position to be able to take it. Unfortunately, it's only a strategic location for dwarves, and it's also only an 8-thing settlement. We don't actually want this. If I got it away from the vampires, I'd probably just burn it and let Carrick Cadron have it back. Okay, you can grab us Grom Peak pretty easily. Wow. Look at that. This is just insane. The idea that we would take anywhere near that much damage against this army. Alright, well now we own the Rib Peaks. Let's pull this down. There's no way we're going to use that. Throw one of those up. Honestly, there's a pretty good chance we'll just replace this with a growth building. I think we're going to need all the help we can get on that front. So does Krokgar go to Carrick Cadrin? No, let's go to Jufbar. My plan was not to end up down here at all. It looks like we're not going to be able to avoid another turn of attrition. My plan was not to come up here at all, but I think we'll have Tiktaq'to push through Carrick Cadrin, see if we can solve that problem. So let's split the heroes up. One of them will go north with Tiktaq'to, the other one will escort the other armies. And we are not going to upgrade any settlements. Let's do one more cycle of enemy turns, and then have a chat with the dwarves about joining their war against the vampires. Because it seems like the vampires are doing pretty well right now. I don't know that the dwarven forces are actually engaged with them at all. We might want to talk to the Empire, too, because I think the Empire is at war with the vampires, and they would probably appreciate the help. But this will be fun. A big dinosaur versus vampire war ought to be entertaining. And maybe we'll have some cool skeleton backup. It seems like they're trying to make it up to us. We move a lot faster than they do, and they don't have the benefit of... they don't have the benefit of all of our actual good units. So anytime they want to fight, they have to like stop and get back to full health first, whereas we can play pretty loose. So right now, Jufbar and Oakenhammer is all they have left. Oh, Helman Gorst is in way over his head. If I catch that dude in the field in that state... I wonder what Bretonnia is doing right now. With this many armies, they're probably at war with somebody. We might want to check in on that, actually. Oh, it looks like, actually, they own this territory up here. This is Bretonian colored. So that's what they're doing. They're crusading against the Norskins. Okay. Whenever you see a powerful faction on the world map, or on the balance of power bars, and you don't know what they're doing, you should find out, because factions with considerable military strength are always fighting. The AI gets very twitchy if it has a big army and nowhere to use it. They will create a conflict if they are not currently involved in one. And you need to be apprised of that, especially if they're anywhere near you, because if they're not currently in one, you need to make sure that your areas near them are strong, or else you're going to end up in conflict with them. Is that unowned? Yeah, some trace just got burned. It looks like parts of it are still owned by the Order of Lore Masters. Unfortunately, the Order of Lore Masters are sort of a bright red on the map, and the Cult of Pleasure is a very red purple. So it's really hard to tell just at a glance how the war for Ulthuan is going. Alright, Black Buckthorn, don't get too comfortable. You're going to get yours. I think this Puppets of Chaos army is not so large that it's likely to attack our settlement on the first turn that it makes landfall. What are they doing? Like, where are they going? I don't know. That's a real next time problem. We will definitely be fighting them soon. We've got our sequence of massed combat completed. Upkeep down for Saurus Infantry and Temple Guard will be a not inconsiderable amount of money. We do have a lot of these units now. And then it's missile resistance and armor. Then armor and weapon strength for the Temple Guards, and then melee attack and defense for the Temple Guards. Okay, we're not going to do anything major this turn, but let's just, before we quit, talk to the dwarves.
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
They're still not thinking that they want to be military allies with us. But what about if we do all of these things that you like? Such as give you 100,000 gold and fight vampires on your behalf. Still low, it says.
Won't happen.
347 trending toward 403, and as we fight the vampires, that number is only going to continue to trend up. Interesting that the main dwarf force is no longer at war with the greenskins. Who are the greenskins at war with? It's still me and Carrick Cadron at the very least. Okay, almost everyone in the world, in fact. Not the Empire, it's worth noting. And the vampire counts are at war with... Okay, they are not at war with the Empire, in fact. What is the Empire up to right now? They might be up north fighting Chaos. Yeah, they're only showing us at war with Chaos. So, Ostland, I think? And then that's Nordland. So the Chaos forces come in through here. We don't know exactly where they are currently. Does this look unowned? It does look unowned, right? As you can see, when something's owned, it has the owning faction listed in the upper right of the box. This area does not have anything in the upper right of the box, so the Chaos Forces might be right here, burning stuff down. Oh hey, Rathawk's finished his recruitment. Well, I'm going to go ahead and have him... I'm going to go ahead and start him on some more recruitment, because I will forget otherwise. Let's grab Miscast Chance down for you. And you need to get more guys. Okay. It's gonna be a long time before the army of Temple Guard are ready to march to the north, unfortunately. They'll get there eventually. Okay, I think that is where we are going to leave it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. The orcs are on their back foot, their final back foot. We've had them on a couple before. This, I am confident, is the last one. And then it's vampire time. I'm very excited about getting to fight big vampire monsters. So come back next time to see the start of that, and we'll see you then.